We have just got a load of big information on Call of Duty 2024 Black Ops Gulf War's campaign, and once again this is all coming from Insider Gaming. Now, previous reports stated that whilst this game will be tackling the Gulf War, it will apparently be tackling other events in the 90s leading up to the early 2000s, and will be trying to take a more nuanced perspective on the war. Whether they're actually going to achieve that is still yet to be determined, but regardless, let's go over the new information. And I just want to say, I do feel like this new information that we have received has me a little bit worried. This game really needs to smash it out of the park. It's a full 4 years of development from Treyarch. It's Treyarch's apparent big comeback, and the last few Call of Duties have just been really poor. And honestly, I've not really been engaged in terms of making YouTube videos and stuff like that for the last few years. So if this game is not up to my standards, I honestly don't know what to do for the future, because of course I am a big Treyarch fan. It's what I enjoy the most, especially because I'm mainly a fan of the zombies portion of the game. So if this game isn't satisfactory, maybe it's time to move on, to be honest. But the reason why this information has me worried today is regarding the fact that apparently Black Ops Gulf War's campaign is going to embrace an open world campaign, similar to the open combat missions we saw in Modern Warfare 3. However, apparently they're trying to do something different to the Modern Warfare 3 open combat missions. Of course, those open combat missions were just played on the Warzone maps, Verdansk and Urzikstan, but apparently this game is going to have entirely unique maps for these open world missions built from the ground up, rather than reusing assets from previous entries on the Warzone maps. Now again, I don't know if this is in fact true. I am skeptical about this. I could see them, for example, having it in the open combat missions, but then it ends up just releasing as a Warzone map later, let's say a year later or something like that. Although it is rumored that COD 2025, the game a year after, which is rumored to be a Black Ops 2 sequel set in 2030, is going to be seeing Verdansk returning in Warzone. So in that sense, I guess they're not working on a new one for that, but apparently there will be a new Warzone map with COD 2024, and I don't know what that will be, but it seems like Treyarch might be making a whole new Warzone map just for that. Anyways, in regards to these open combat missions, apparently they will see the player and their squad navigate the map more akin to that of Far Cry than anything we've seen in the Call of Duty universe. Players will be able to utilize vehicles to get around, as well as using a fast travel system to get from one point to the next, which is similar to systems we've seen in Zombies, although the scope of how many linear missions there are will remain to be seen. Sources confirm that some linear missions will be integrated into the campaign, so it seems like it's going to be drastically different to what we saw with Modern Warfare 3, where the open combat missions were just really boring, really poor, because they were just on reused locations and they didn't really have much to them, and it seems like this will be expanded upon a lot further. But honestly, even if they do open world missions well, I just don't want to see them even taking the risk of doing this, just because it hasn't worked out well when they've tried to do open world campaigns in the past. For example, with Modern Warfare 3, it received the worst reviews ever. They also tried to do an open world kind of campaign with Black Ops 3, but that didn't work, and most of the plans they had got cancelled and it got reworked into a more linear campaign. So that has me a bit worried there, but I'm trying to temper my worries due to the fact that these will apparently be completely brand new maps and missions built from the ground up and not just reused Warzone locations. Now, of course, Modern Warfare 3's campaign missions apparently had a lot more playtime than any of the previous ones, probably because people were trying to collect all of the different things on these open combat missions, but I think the average person just rushed through them, so it's kind of skewed the data a little bit. But people really didn't enjoy them, and I'm guessing the early access campaign also skewed the data a little bit because people probably replayed them to try and get all the achievements and stuff like that whilst they were waiting for the rest of the game to release. Now, apparently the campaign is going to be developed by Raven Software once again, and the multiplayer and zombies will be handled by Treyarch. So of course, Ravensoft developed a lot of the stuff for Black Ops Cold War's campaign, so I'm glad to see them back. Of course, they'll still be assisted by Treyarch, they'll be helping each other, and I'm guessing it'll be the same narrative writers from Black Ops Cold War, and that game even had writers from Black Ops 1 return. Now, apparently Adler is going to be returning as a main character as well, so I'm really excited for this, and this means that the campaign will actually be a direct sequel to Black Ops Cold War. Now, we don't know if Mason or Woods are going to be involved in the campaign at all. Honestly, they might not be, due to the fact that, of course, Mason is currently in the canon looking after his child in Alaska, and Woods, of course, ended up in the wheelchair, so we're not sure what's going on there. However, there have been two different characters leaked. One is an actor called Michael Silberblatt, who recently played Hawkeye, and he's apparently going to be playing a lead character. We don't know who he's playing right now, but some people are speculating he could be playing David Mason, Alex Mason's son, as a child, because they do look quite similar. And there is another actor called Luke Charles Stafford, and he could be another character. Now, some of the different operator factions have leaked. Apparently there's going to be the USMC, the SAS, the Russian Federation and the SABF. And there has been many different characters leaked for this campaign as well, such as one called Felix, one called Newman, one called Marshall. So either of these actors could be playing either or of these characters that we don't really know anything about. Like I said before, no mention of Mason or Woods yet, but if Adler's in the game, that's enough. He was a standout character in Black Ops Cold War. Of course, it had alternative endings, one of which he died, but we know that in the post-launch story, he ended up surviving. So because it had multiple choice endings, that's the ending they're going with. Of course, the last campaign mission saw him defeating Stitch, but of course, Perseus ended up essentially winning and spread their ideology across the globe, even despite his death. And I wonder if Perseus are going to be involved in this campaign again. I'm not sure how that would tie into the Gulf War or anything like that. We will have to wait and see, especially if they're trying to tell a nuanced take on the war. I doubt they're going to be involving any sort of fictional elements. They really need to stick to reality, in my opinion. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think of open combat missions returning in this game? Like I said, I'm skeptical because they weren't done well in Modern Warfare 3, but if they're more similar to Far Cry, then I'm down. But honestly, I just would rather them just do the linear campaigns, because that's what they did with Cold War, and I thought that it was a really solid campaign. And I feel like whilst it could be good doing open combat missions, but actually done well this time, I'm totally down for an open world campaign. I'm kind of scared for them to take the risk due to when they've taken the risk in the past, it hasn't paid off. And the reason why they're apparently doing this is because of the fact that it's apparently just easier for them to develop these open combat missions. But that was only easier because Modern Warfare 3 reused the locations. If they're building them from the ground up, they surely wouldn't be easier unless they're going to be reusing these locations, like I said, in Zombies or some of the other modes as well, so for some of the multiplayer maps or something like that. So I'm a bit worried about that. And it's also rumored that COD 2025, like I said, the Black Ops 2 sequel set in 2030, doesn't even have a main developer assigned to it just yet. Apparently, Treyarch will probably be maining the project, but maybe Sledgehammer Games will be, or Ravensoft. We're not really sure. So it sounds like they haven't actually done too much development on this game, and they're mainly just focusing on COD 2024 right now, which has me really worried, because even if COD 2024 has a solid launch, they might just get pulled off that project to then start rushing out COD 2025 in a year, which is why I'm kind of worried about that. It makes no sense why they haven't assigned a main developer when the game is only a year away. But apparently they're planning on doing open world campaign missions again for COD 2025's campaign with several different biomes as locales. Again, I don't really want to see this, and I'm kind of worried. 3 games in a row with these open combat missions is really concerning. Like, I get it for a one-off, I get it for 2 games in a row, but 3 games in a row, can we just get the normal campaigns back, please? Now, they did say that Gulf War's campaign will have some linear missions, but it sounds like it's going to have even more open combat missions than even Modern Warfare 3 had, which had about half. And right now, it sounds like COD 2025 is still very far out from even being finished, so I don't know how they're going to put this game together. It sounds like it's going to be a big rush. I am very worried by this news. I'm very, very worried indeed, because like I said, it sounds like they haven't even started working on COD 2025 much yet. They probably just have the campaign concepted, the general storyline layout, but they haven't actually started development on it yet. Otherwise, they would have a main developer by now, surely. And in terms of COD 2024, I don't think they should be taking risks again with open world missions, especially when Black Ops Cold War's campaign, which had linear missions, was done really well, and they should have just continued from there. It's rumored that Highmoon Studios will be working on this game, but they will likely only be working in a support capacity, because they only had over 200 employees, and recently over 30% of their staff have been laid off, and they literally have around 150 now. And just for context, Infinity Ward, Treyarch, Sledgehammer have literally thousands and thousands of employees, so Highmoon have nowhere near that capacity to lead a Call of Duty game, but they can certainly help out, but only assisting with small things. They are not substantial enough to do a whole project, especially with these layoffs. And apparently Activision wanted Sledgehammer to be doing this COD 2025 game, but apparently they completely refused due to the fact that they were forced to make Modern Warfare 3 in a short period of time, and they don't want to just become a year 2 support studio and want to be making their own games. So I'm really glad that Sledgehammer Games stuck up for themselves, because they have been gaslit and mistreated so harshly by Activision. So really, this only leaves Treyarch left. Highmoon was in the running at one point, but they're just nowhere near big enough, like I said. So it really seems like Treyarch will be the main developer once again, and like I said, that means COD 2024 is in major jeopardy, because how on earth are they meant to make 2 games at once when this game doesn't even sound anywhere near completed yet? So COD 2024's post-launch support may end up being a disaster, because they might be scraping together COD 2025 quickly, and that's probably why they have been pulled off of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies recently, because they are trying to rush out both of these games. So I am so sick of the Call of Duty cycle. Now, in terms terms of zombies information, there has actually been apparent pictures of what is potentially one of the launch maps for Gulf War Zombies. Now, we can pretty much make out nothing from this, but it looks like some sort of open world map, honestly. It looks really large, like a Warzone map. Now, this has me a little bit worried. Now, if you have not been keeping up to date with the intel system in the game, which has been teasing future maps and the leaks, apparently one of the maps is going to be set on Terminus Island, which is the location where Dr. Peck is heading in the post-credit scene of Black Ops Cold War to quote-unquote collect some old friends. It's going to feature a prison on where the Requiem heads are being held and the strike team, and he's going to be heading out on a boat to get to Terminus Island. So that's going to be one of the maps, and the other map will apparently be set in a town in West Virginia where Richtofen's building tunnels and a big wall, and he's excavating things and potentially opening up a gateway for the Dark Ether, something to do with Project Janus. And judging from this image, this looks more like what that map would be, but again, we can't really make out much from this image because they are just texture files, but it has me worried it might be some sort of open world type thing, especially with the information from the campaign. Potentially the campaign location might be reused in zombies and could be reused in multiplayer as well. So yeah, whilst Treyarch have had apparently 4 years to work on this game, I'm just worried because, like I said, they haven't even got a main developer for COD 2025 yet, and Treyarch have also had their development spread thin because they've still been having to work on ranked play for the other games, Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, Vanguard Zombies, and all of this other stuff, so they haven't been able to just focus on this one game, and they're working on COD 2025 as well. Like I said, I imagine Treyarch will be working on COD 2025 in some capacity, but maybe they'll give the main developer to Ravensoft or Sledgehammer or something like that. Only time will tell. Something else that is pretty weird is I put out a joke tweet. Well, it's kind of real, but also a joke. I said, I bet Richtofen and the return of Round Base will be what COD 2024 Zombies' marketing push will be based around. Pre-order now and get early access to the Black Cell Richtofen. To which Tom Henderson replied, who is the person who wrote the Insider Gaming article, who has inside knowledge, saying, but that would mean ... wait, never mind. And I don't know what he's referring to here. I have no idea at all. I assume it's got something to do with Richtofen and not the round-based part. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think he means of this? Like I said, it surely has something to do with Richtofen, but I have no idea. Maybe he's going to reveal this information in the future. We'll have to wait and see. Let me know what you think in the comments. And the final bit of worrying news is that apparently COD 2024 Black Ops Gulf War is rumored to be releasing in October. The reason why this is bad news is because when they've pushed the development a month forward in the past, it hasn't worked well. Like we saw with Black Ops 4, it released with loads of bugs. Like we saw with Modern Warfare 2, Season 1 literally had no content. So it seems like when the developers are rushed, even just by a month to get it out a bit sooner, it doesn't work out well. Treyarch need that November release. I don't know why they've even pushed it forward by a month. They don't have to compete with anything. GTA 6 will be the following year. That'll be competing with COD 2025, but that's about it. So I don't know why they're trying to go for an October release date as well. Also, in the past, it's been rumored that they might be releasing Zombies Early Access, so maybe one of the maps will be released a week or two early. So if they're already releasing the game earlier in October, then surely Zombies is not going to be even earlier than that. That would be a bit odd. Anyways, let me know what you think of all of this news in the comment section down below. Like I said, I'm genuinely worried, and I don't want to be worried because we've really had a really poor few years of Call of Duty games that are just so basic and just so mediocre, especially for Zombies fans. So this game really needs to hit it out of the park, and I'm just worried. This news is not what I wanted to hear, but only time will tell how things shape up. Anyways, thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not here for the latest and greatest Call of Duty news information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.